Hello, beautiful people. This is R from DJR Union, and recently we have gotten some news from the UA English producer herself, Akari Fujimoto, about some upcoming changes that's going to be happening with Union Arena, as well as some amazing events that are going to be happening later on during the year. First off, let me just say and just showcase my appreciation for Akari Fujimoto of bringing Union Arena out to the West for everybody here to enjoy. You really did an amazing thing here and bringing us something that we're able to showcase and play our favorite animes in a card game against many other people with their own favorite animes, and I really do appreciate that. But other than that, let's jump on to some of the news that were displayed for us to be able to expect later on during this year. If you want to go ahead and see these news for yourself, they are actually on the Union Arena official Twitter page, which I can leave a link to down in the description below, so that way you can see for yourself the message that the Akari herself had for all of the fans here out in the West. So starting off, which I think is one of the more biggest things, is that there has been an announcement for a championship, a Union Arena championship that's going to be taking place later on during this year, specifically in August, that's going to be running all the way into December, with the finals, I believe, happening in the coming year of 2026. I believe that is one of the most amazing things to happen. The fact that even though Union Arena has only been out for half a year, it's a nice way to kick off the 1-year anniversary of Union Arena, since it came out last year, and I believe like September or like beginning of October, to be able to have a wide round event for everybody to participate. And you best believe DJR here, me, D, and R, J I should say, is going to be participating in that event as well. In addition to that, they're saying that there are also going to be special showcases at future Bandai card festivals, as well as conventions, which I assume will be anime conventions, about different ways to obtain more promotional cards for you guys to just bling up your deck, which I believe is another fantastic way to promote the game, because who doesn't like promo cards? Especially if there are free ways to get those promo cards as well. So those are like another couple of nice little treats and bits of candies that I really do appreciate as well. Now, I will say though, even though that this is an event, give or take, it's going to be an event that's probably going to be hosted by Bandai anyway, I do have a little bit of concerns that I want to bring to light. Now, if you don't know or don't already know, I had the luxury of participating and going to the Bandai Card Fest that was being held in Orlando earlier this year in January. And let me just first say that it was quite an experience to be able to go out there, participate in the event, as well as meet some amazing people and some content creators. One of them being Lullaby Anto, shout outs to him, truly inspirational YouTuber, as well as T Mac or T Macaroni, for example, another educated individual who knows a lot about the game and really able to just to break down the actual mechanics of the game. So shout outs to both of them, to be able to meet them, as well as many other people, amazing people over at the event. It was a pleasure to meet y'all, and I hope to continue to see them and see everybody going forward in future events. With that out of the way, I will say that when it came to the actual rare battles and the tournaments themselves that was being hosted over at Bandai Card Fest, not gonna lie, it was a complete dumpster fire. And what I mean by that is that the entire event was completely unorganized, specifically for the tournament aspect of the festival. When it came to like when you were being paired with your opponent, as we all know how tournaments works, when you're paired with your opponent, you are designated to sit at a certain table. The issue with it was that they only had one group of tables. Like you had table 1 all the way up to like say table 64. But the way they had the tournament organized for each individual rare battle is that they'll have like say contestant X and Y, you have to be seated at seat number 1. But when you have multiple rare battles going on, you have contestant X and Y from the Bleach rare battle and contestant X and Y from the JJK rare battle are both designated a seat at table 1. So now you have 4 people that are supposed to seat at table 1, which is only designed to seat 2 people. You can kind of see where this organization becomes apparent. At first they decided like, hey, you're just gonna have to take turns playing at table 1. So when one person finished, the next set of people will come up and play, which was a terrible idea to begin with, because when you're playing a tournament set, you have a time limit. And some games, depending on the matchup, can take the entire time limit or can take as little as 10 minutes. But when you have multiple people that are supposed to be sitting at the same seat to be able to play their matches, there's not enough time for everybody to play their matches, which will also further extend the time of the tournament. So That was a complete mess. Thankfully, someone was able to come up with a quick solution on the fly to be able to get everybody to play their matches and get the tournament done at a reasonable time. But this still doesn't deny the fact that we did have delays with the tournament, as well as delays with tournaments that are supposed to be started at later dates as well, just because of the fact that there were not proper preparations made before the event to ensure that everybody was able to play in a timely manner. So my thoughts on that is that Bandai really do need to step it up with that, because if that's going to continue with later Bandai card festivals, then truth be told, I really wouldn't want to participate in those events, especially the fact that my event is going to be delayed. And if my event is delayed, I'm not able to obtain or to be able to go to other events that are happening during Bandai card festival because my tournament was pushed back, and now I'm playing the tournament at a time where I say there are new parts going to be released over on the other end of the venue. So I really hope they fix that going forward, because that was a complete dumpster fire. They definitely need to do better. Now, I don't know how the main tournament for Union Arena event, because unfortunately I was not able to participate in the main tournament because the sign-ups like completely filled up the moment they dropped, because everybody and their mother want to play in the main tournament. But I hope that the main tournament wasn't as complete of a dumpster fire as the side events were, and I hope that going into future events that they really take the time to organize these and make it so that everybody can play their matches in a timely manner. Now, another issue that I had with the Bandai Card Festival from when I attended was that, one, the English producer herself was present. Akari Fujimoto was present at the Bandai Card Festival, and when they made that announcement that she was going to be doing signings, you best believe everybody and their mother over for UA was hoping to get their cards signed. Unfortunately, another thing that really ended up pissing me off was that they didn't have a proper booth set up for her. I kid you not, they set her up on a foldable table in the corner of the tournament venue, mid-tournament. Must I remind you, mid-tournament, to be able to sign cards or do meet and greets. What the freak was that? So you're telling me while this big tournament is going on and everybody's focusing on the tournament, you're gonna take an important figure such as Akari Fujimoto and push her off to the side in a random corner with a foldable table with only one body card that said, oh, she's here for signings, come in here, make a scattered line and meet her. Come on now, what the freak was that? Like really? How many times have you went to a convention and you have literal voice actors or producers or even content creators and influencers that have proper booths set up for meet and greets or even streams for everybody to attend? I can tell you there's a lot of conventions that I went to where voice actors were properly displayed to meet their fans, but compared to how Akari was treated during this event, was completely disrespectful, not only to the fans, but also to her. And Bandai, I'm not gonna lie, y'all had to do way better than that. Now, y'all could have made a proper announcement, had like a banner display that, hey, Akari Fujimoto, the English producer for UN Arena, is gonna be doing meet and greet at this set location with a proper booth that was set up for her. That would have been was way more fantastic idea than just pushing her off to the corner. Because once again, mid-tournament, you have people playing their tournament who didn't even realize that she was doing meet and greets, that didn't get the opportunity to meet her or to get something signed from her. Like, thankfully, I was able to finish my match. Heck, I kind of threw my match because I'm like, heck, a tournament or to be able to meet the producer, I'm gonna take meeting the producer, me personally. And thankfully I did, because now I was able to get this nice winner Ichigo signed by her, and I have her nice Satyrs right here so I can treasure it, and whenever I display it when I'm playing against my opponents, they can see that, hey, I got this sign from the UA producer, which to me is fantastic, and I really do appreciate it, because like Akari does a lot of work for us to bring this to the West, and she was just a sweet person to talk to as well, super kind, super gentle, and even everybody else that would meet her, they all say the same thing, that we appreciate her. We appreciate Akari Fujimoto for bringing UN Arena out to the West. And it was completely disappointing for the treatment that they gave her. Like I said, on the opposite end of the venue when they were doing the Bandai card game for Gundam, as well as the beta, all that went smoothly. Like ISO Speedy and like Team APS was there as well. Like there were proper displays for them to showcase them enjoying the game. So why couldn't we get the same treatment for the literal person who brought this card game to the West? make it make sense. I'm just saying, for future events, especially if I'm going to be attending them, or especially if you want more people who like Union Arena to attend your events, y'all have to do better. Y'all have to show love to the fans and have to show love to the people who are supporting your product. Because if not, you're just going to turn away a lot of people. That's just something I need to get off my chest and explain to everybody. It's like, that is unacceptable, and I really do hope that they fix that going forward. Another thing that I want to go over is that in addition to the World Tour, they're also going to be introducing more titles to the game, which of course, who doesn't want more titles and hope that their favorite IPs is going to be introduced? We already have One Punch Man that recently came out. We have Full Metal Alchemist and Attack on Titan that are on the horizon. As well, we have Black Clover, Kaiju number 8, and as well as the recently announced Yu Yu Hakusho and Rurouni Kenshin. I'm really excited to see what new titles that they're going to have for us and what they're going to display coming this May. I'm really hoping that we get Inuyasha, because we're getting old school animes and old school shonen just like Yu Yu Hakusho and Rurouni Kenshin. There's no way we can't get Inuyasha. Like, Inuyasha is a classic, at least in my eyes, and I really did enjoy that, watching that anime growing up. So I would really like it. Hey, I would still like to see Blue Lock get announced as well, because Blue Lock is another popular anime. Surprisingly enough, during the Bandai Card Fest, there was like a display for Blue Lock, but there was nothing there. If that didn't tell me that, hey, there's the potential for Blue Lock to be brought out to the West, I don't know what is. So I'm hoping Blue Lock is part of that list, and I'm hoping Inuyasha is part of that list as well. Of course, I also have a little thing for My Hero Academia, so we get that would be also hype. So those are the 3 things that I'm hoping to be announced with the new title, because thankfully we already got Rurouni Kenshin. I was hoping for that, and we got it. So to get Inuyasha, Blue Lock, or My Hero Academia, that'll also be a nice blessing for everybody here in the West. Another thing that Akari Fujimoto also announced was that they're going to continue to do balancing for the game to make sure that the game has a friendly and a balanced environment for everybody to enjoy, and to make sure that none of the toxic aspects that are plaguing the Japan version of the game really makes its way here into the West, which I think is also extremely, extremely important, especially for the life of this game. If you don't already know, when the Bleach set first came out, there was 2 cards that was omitted from the Bleach set because of how much of an impact it had over in Japan. And those were the 0-cost Farter Rukia, as well as the 2-cost Orihime. These were 2 pivotal cards that really pushed how fast and how much value Purple Bleach was able to generate in a match. And it's good that they recognize the damage that these cards could cause with the format, and say, instead of just including these cards and having a repeat of what happened over in Japan, let's remove these cards entirely, so that way not only does the deck still have a good ratio of being able to win matches, but it's not as broken as the Tier 0 version was over in Japan. Now, not gonna lie, Kurapika people are still over here swinging their thing around like they dominate everything, because F Kurapika, something in that deck needs to change, and I hope something stronger comes out to take care of it, because forget that deck, Kurapika's trash. But never mind the fact, they really did waste no time with continuing this trend in other sets, such as Jujutsu Kaisen. Even before the Jujutsu Kaisen set came out, they immediately said, hey, the 4 energy Rei Sukuna, as well as the 2 energy Yuji Itadori, those 2 cards could not be played in tangent with each other. You cannot play those 2 cards in the same deck. To me, I feel as though that's a really good way to go about restricting cards versus just straight up banning. It still makes it so you can still play the cards in tournament, while, hey, you just can't play these cards together because it had a broken combo and it generated too much value. And I really like how they immediately put that into effect before the set even came out, because they understood the damage it had done out in Japan. And this trend even continued on in the Code Geass set, where there was a 2 energy drop Nunley that was originally included in Code Geass Red and then its original set, that didn't even make its way over in the Western version because of the same thing. It generated too much of a value, and it really pushed the deck over the top into, like, say, another Tier 0 deck, to the point where it's like, hey, this card is very oppressive. Let's remove it from the set altogether and include it into a later set once the meta has already established. Another great way to go about balancing the game, ensuring that no broken decks makes its way into the meta, by saying like, hey, we're just gonna wait. Once the meta's established, we're gonna put these cards later on and see what is the result of it. Now, this becomes a different case with the One Punch Man set, because the One Punch Man set was a global release. There was no prior data of the impact of the set over in Japan before bringing it out here towards the West. As such, if you saw our earlier video, there were some mechanical aspects with the Esper Sisters deck that kind of created a toxic format for Unirina, specifically out here in the West. And I'm not going to go into too details about the Esper Sisters deck and what I found was like a toxic aspect of it. That's for the video that was made before. If you want to check that out, it's going to be down in the description box below as well. But essentially, because the set was released globally at the same time, there was no prior data of how these would affect the card game as well and how it would shape up the meta. To say that like, oh, this card is problematic, let's limit or not even include this card altogether before making it out here in the West. Now, give and take, there are many, and I believe many more sets out in Japan versus out here in the West. So maybe the toxic aspect of the Esper Sisters deck of being able to generate so much value is probably not as much of an issue out of Japan as here in the West. Maybe because of the fact that there's way more sets out to Japan with probably other busted mechanics, that the Esper Sisters deck is probably like, oh, this is just another normal thing. Versus out here in the West version, whereas that there's only, I believe, like what, 5 or 6 IPs that are out currently. So there's not a lot of decks or not a lot of variations in the decks as of yet to say that, oh, this deck can just compete with this Esper Sisters deck, or this deck can compete with this deck, and so on and so forth. So I can see why going forward, like the Full Metal Alchemist set's being released over in the Japan first before it's released here in the West. Probably because of the fact that, hey, we're gonna see what's gonna happen with it. We're gonna test the waters before we decide like, oh, maybe this card shouldn't be included starting out, and we should wait till a later date to introduce this card. It wouldn't be behind Bandai to do such a thing. Maybe the One Punch Man set dropping globally as it did was just a way to test the waters to see how it overall would affect both the Japan meta as well as the English meta. Once again, like I said, I hope they continue this trend of being able to say, hey, let's exclude this card for now and put it back at a later date, or even just say, hey, this card cannot be played with this card in the same deck, as a way to try to continue to balance out the game, because the game is still fairly new out here in the West. A lot of people are waiting for their favorite IPs. Heck, there are people that didn't even start the game until One Punch Man came out. And I know some people that are waiting for Attack on Titan, or even they're waiting for Kaiju number 8 to come out before they start playing, because those are their favorite anime. So you want to make sure that the game is not already creating a toxic environment before even a year of the game's lifespan is here in the West, because you don't want to deter people away from the game because you have all these toxic decks flooding the meta. You want to have a balanced game out to where everybody can enjoy themselves, everybody can feel as though that their decks matter, and that there's no deck that's so overpressing that you can't do anything with your deck that you waited so many months to finally be able to build. It's just going to turn people away. So I really do like that they are making an active effort to balance this game and to assure it's not a repeat of what's going on out there over in Japan. So overall, that pretty much covers all the news from the message that the English producer Akari Fujimoto herself had for us. Once again, let me just say that I really do appreciate you, Akari, for everything that you are doing and everything that you're bringing over here to the West for the IPs to be able to enjoy, to play, as well as making an active effort to keep the game balanced, so that way no one gets too frustrated with the game and they're able to enjoy the anime that they grew up loving. Big shout outs to you, and also another thing too, to Bandai. Listen, I'm definitely going to be attending future events because I love Unirina and I'm going to continue to play this game. So please, guys, y'all need to do better, and y'all need to get your crap organized and make sure that these events are as smooth as they can be. Because like I said, at the end of the day, that was disrespectful for what y'all did with Unirina, but also to the English producer herself. So you guys definitely need to do better. So other than that, I've been R from DGR Union. Be sure to check out any more information you want to check out down in the description box below, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.